Hello, this is Pad, and welcome back to another episode of Neo Scavenger, the Certain Death Simulator 2017. For me, this is an old game. I am but a newbie to this. Not doing too well. Don't know if you caught the last episode. I died. We had to start over. But we'll just gloss over that. We've started off much better this time round. We have $25. Boom. Monies. Don't know what we're going to spend it on. I don't even think that they use money these days. Surely it's like bottle caps or something. I don't know. Maybe that's another game. But we need to crack on. This is Zom Zoms, right in the middle here. A place to eat. And we came up from the north, and I am looking at just scavenging around this, and then we'll head on in and see what the bloody hell's going on there. Zom Zoms. Now, I'm a bit of a zombie freak, so I'd like to think that it's got something to do with zombies. It is the apocalypse after all. Now, let's face it, there's only one certain apocalypse after nuclear, and that's the zombie holocaust. They are going to rule the earth one day. That's why I read as many zombie books and watch as many zombie movies as I can. And I suppose, in a way, play as many zombie games as I can. It's simulation. It's there. It's preparing me. I am a computer game zombie prepper. Boom. There you go. There's a new one for you. Anyway, let's crack on before this gets any more embarrassing. Moving on to the next one. Player is tired. Where are we in the day? It's daytime. It's not getting to evening yet. Although, yes, we are looking a little bit low on the old tired streak over there. But even so, it's been a heavy day. We're bandaging prostitutes up. You know, we're busy. We're busy. But we do need to scavenge. We need to have a gander to see what is around. Do we? Yeah, we do. How are we doing for items? Let's have a quick look. Nothing special here at the moment. Oh yeah, it was this bag. It's been a while since I've recorded. I think it's been about 8 days. So it's something that we do need to address, that bag. And 13%, I'm pretty sure these deteriorate really quick. So we can't mess about with those. The other thing which is worrying is we do have quite a few valuable bits of equipment here, like the very fancy sleeping bag and the binoculars. And we can't afford to drop them really. So we need to, well, hope for the best, really, when it comes to that. Can't scavenge here. There's nothing here to scavenge, I guess. Next one. Next one's the office tower. Oh, not enough moves left. Okay. Ah, now we can scavenge because we have the moves. Okay, let's have a quick gander. We have a destroyed office building. And we shall throw in our strong trait. Do we not have a lighter? That's rubbish. Oh, but there is stuff there. Good. And let's do that once more, just for the lols. This is in the abandoned office tower. And we'll throw in our heavy set self again. Nothing there. You were hoping to find a hidden treasure, but that old cupboard turned out to be a haven for toxic black mold. Love it. You're certain some was kicked up by your disturbance, but maybe you avoided inhaling too much. Well, time will tell, no doubt. I don't suppose it'd come up here, would it? Nasal allergies. A tissue. We will eventually fall down. Anyway, we have here... not a lot. What's that? Small parts? That was pretty rubbish. There was a medium-sized branch from a tree in an office. Okay. We do have a scrap of paper, though. It teaches us how to make a broken bottle. Okay. Don't need much help with that. Let's move on. Oh, we've had somebody moving over here. So, once more... No, we're going to have to end the turn. Ooh, who be you? A stranger in a green t-shirt. Must like Mountain Dew. Oh, is that locked? No, it's not. Let's go and check out the storage shed first. We'll just, kick the door in, throw stuff around. There's bound to be something useful in here. Or not. Once again, we'll go to the crumbling apartment building. They're always fun. Strong once again. Nothing in there. This is rubbish. It's getting to evening as well. Okay. You're going to have to end the turn once more. I presume we're not getting as many goes because we're tired. So we're going to have to sleep. I wonder if we can sleep at Zom Zoms. It might be worth checking. And then we just have the one abandoned office tower on left. Strong. Oh! More black mould. Oh, we're still only showing nasal allergies. That's fine. Oh, there's a bit of water here. Oh, do we have... Oh, our bottles are empty. We don't know if that's clean. I don't think it's clean, is it? So, can we drag? Can we drag? There we go. We'll turn that a little bit of water. We need a cooking pot. How's our bag doing? 10.9. That disintegrates quickly. So let's move down once more and end. Player's nose and throat are irritated, causing discomfort like an allergy. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Still, we've got an abandoned house here. Let's go kicking our way through that. Oh, stuff in there. Once again, we will check the storage shed. Kick the door in. Nothing there. End once more. And this is the last bit to scavenge before we get to Zom Zoms. What have you? Oh, ooh, that looks like a first aid kit. Let's have a gander. Ooh, so we have another plastic bag, which is better than the bag we've got at the moment, which is 9.5. So let's pull this out and empty all that. We'll pull this bag into the hand, along with that. Come on now, stop playing up. That was empty. We're going to take the strap because it's worth a little bit of monies. We've got rags already, haven't we? No. No, we took the rags already, didn't we? So we have trousers and a tarpaulin, or tarp, if you will, and some newspaper. We'll go over that in a second. Trainers, trousers, 94.7. 91.2. Slightly more space in those khaki other shorts. We'll get cold in those. We'll stick to the jeans. What's this? Pebbles. You see, usually I'd take the tarp, but I think I'll just seek shelter when it comes to sleeping, because we already have the sleeping bags. There's no need for that. There's nothing in the first aid kit. Although, that does hold a bit. It doesn't hold as much as a plastic bag, though. We'd have to sacrifice the rags, which I don't really want to do if I can help it. What about the shards? 71, 76. We'll take those shards. Might as well carry a full bag, and we'll take the plastic bag just in case we strike out on one of these and can't find anything before then. But other than that, I think we're good here. What does the paper say? Riders in the Sky. Detroit establishes first corporate Skybite security force. In a bid to increase the law enforcement presence, Detroit becomes the first metropolitan precinct to establish a corporate security force of hoverbikes. Awesome. Sky Corp successfully negotiated a 10-year contract for metropolitan security in the Detroit area. The state-of-the-art Skybites employed by Sky Corp allow peacekeepers, interesting way to call people who carry weapons, a much wider area of operation, longer duration, and vastly improved response time over the traditional police interceptor vehicles. Now that sounds more like it. Police interceptor. That sounds like they mean business as opposed to peacekeepers. But I suppose, potato, potato. Or was it tomato, tomato? Right, so on to Zom Zoms. I would like to enter Zom Zoms fully rested though. So let's move. Can we move there? We can. As the source of the distant sounds finally come into view, you stop in your tracks, unsure whether it's safe to continue. Ahead you see a titanic warehouse, like one of those distribution centres from before the apocalypse. There is a dull roar of ethanol generators combined with the occasional rev of unsuppressed exhaust from off-road vehicles. Figures seem to be milling around a low extension on the right, and the occasional ATV arrives or departs without fanfare. You don't think you've been spotted yet, this far out, though with all the activity it's hard to tell. Well, let's have a gander. That's what we got the old binoculars for. Let's see what's going on. Peering into the distance, you see a bright sign reading Zom Zoms, a place to eat, hanging over a giant garage door, fenced off behind tarp and barbed wire. Bright lights, welding arcs and peculiar shadows can be seen in the fenced area, and more lights from within the warehouse. A semi-trailer attached to one of the loading bays acts as a makeshift gate and pedway into the warehouse. Ragged-looking figures line up alongside the trailer, watched over by armed mercenaries. It looks more like a club than anything else, except for that tarp area. Then you see it, A truck on the other side, offloading prisoners or slaves of some sort. That doesn't bode well, but then again, people come and go freely everywhere else and are entering voluntarily through the pedway. What do we want to do? Do we approach the line or do we leave Zom Zoms? Well, it looks like we're not going to be sleeping anytime soon. So, well, let's approach the line, I guess. We've got some money. I'm willing to spend it. While in line, you feel a flutter of anxiety each time the line advances. With each step, you try to catch a glance of what's through the doorway in the trailer, but you still can't tell. Most of the people in line are ragtag looking, wearing mismatched clothes and stinking of sweat. Some confused, others bored. The guards are better, groomed by comparison, though you suspect they'd just as soon murder you for your clothes if they weren't being paid. Up a few wooden plank steps, you step inside the semi-trailer, and hollow sounds of a crowd echo down the narrow corridor from the warehouse. To your right is a chipboard and mesh booth, where an attendant is collecting fees and weapons and stamping people before they walk down the trailer into the warehouse. Stock or spectator? The attendant drones, looking disinterestedly past you. Huh? Now, when you see slaves coming in and you're hearing crowds roaring, you tend to feel like that could be a some sort of combat arena. That would be my first guess. Now, one would always suspect that being a spectator in this would be a lot better than being stock. Stock says to me, you're going in the fold. You're going in there to battle with the lions. So let's not say huh, because that comes across as a bit of a sort of a lackadaisical answer, and you may be misheard and be put in the stockpile. And I don't really want to go there. So let's go with spectator. That seems like the safe option. What you got? Looking behind her, you see ice slabs, shoes and sundry items. It looks like they are definitely some items they'll accept more than others, at least today. So they will take either our binoculars or our bullets. Do I have to give all the bullets? Do I have to give all the bullets? Can I just give like one bullet? There we go. One bullet I think will be sufficient. Wow. It's worth so much. So much. Still, I've got another 3. That's another $150, and I'd prefer keeping the binoculars. So that'll do. You offer your item, which she stashes in a metal locker. Hand, she demands, reaching for a stamp as you present your hand. She applies a symbol and number, then nods to another grisly merc, who checks you for weapons. He tosses your confiscated items into a numbered bin and ushers you down the trailer. Inside, it's 1 part super club, 1 part gladiator pit. I knew it! I knew it. Oh, a wall of sound assaults your ears as you cross the threshold. Part human cacophony, part generator exhaust. Mostly frenetic industrial music and the smell of food and smoke. You can't hear it over the noise, but you can feel your stomach rumble out of the smell of sweet barbecue. The cavernous warehouse is dominated by a dirt-floored arena with high mesh walls. Spectators ring the pit on 3 sides. The 4th reserved for a large garage door leading outside into the tarp-fenced courtyard. Beyond the door, you catch the flash of welding arcs, where it appears scrapyard robots are being prepped. And opposite the garage door, the thing you really care about right now, a wide booth with grills spewing sweet and spicy smoke into the rafters above. People clamour to get at it and walk away with their prize smeared over hands and lips alike. Barbecue. Yumsy, yumsy. You raid through dirty patrons, intent on manhandling some ribs, or beans and rice, or whatever it is they've got cooking over there. Who knows how long you've been in a cryo, how long it's been since you've had a hot meal. Pressing your way through the final wall of hungry patrons, you get an elbow on the counter and desperately try to make eye contact with one of the servers. A few eternal minutes later, one of the apron-clad food slingers glances at you, and you nod like an excited dog. He reaches into a smoker box, withdraws a loaded skewer, and places it in your hand. Sweet, succulent barbecue. Savouring it at first, you start to grow paranoid that it will be snatched from your hands, and you bear down on it with renewed fervour. That was fervour, by the way. Fondling with it against your lips as you absently walk away from the grill. That's what barbecue does to you. It sends you off in food ecstasy. This meat, it's like good, fully developed veal. Not young, but not yet beef. Yes, very definitely like that, and not like any other meat you've tasted. In fact, so much so that you think no person with a palate of ordinary, normal sensitiveness could distinguish it from veal. It is mild, good meat, with no other sharply defined or highly characteristic taste, such as, for instance, goat, high game, and pork have. The steak is slightly tougher than prime veal, a little stringy, but not too tough or stringy to be agreeably edible. The roast is tender, and in colour, texture, smell, as well as taste, strengthens your certainty that of all the meats you habitually know, veal is the one meat to which this meat is accurately comparable. Comparable, which means it's not actually veal. Cannibal! Cannibal! Just then an announcer pipes up. With that same oscillating voice every strip club DJ seems to have, he starts hyping the crowd. Can you count, suckers? That is a Warriors reference, no doubt. He shouts, patrons start yelling back. I said count, you count, suckers. On cue, a testosterone-fueled wave of shouts come from the floor. Huzzah! Huzzah! Raise those numbers, he calls with expectation, and everybody raises their fists in unison. The music changes, lights switch to UV, and numbers appear on all the stamped hands. Your heart starts to race as you realise what's happening. What's happening? Looking around, everyone has a stamp, most like yours. They all have numbers, but it's clear now what the symbols are. Patrons like you have silhouettes of vultures next to their numbers. Those unlucky few who don't have lambs. The announcer calls a number, a low number. Feeling somewhat relieved, you raise your hand above your head. Patrons around you look up to it for a moment, then continue scanning the crowd. A scream of protest erupts from the far side of the arena. Everyone nearby looks across, where a commotion is starting. A man is hoisted into the air, like a crowd server at a concert, and propelled to the arena gate. Patrons claw the remainder of his barbecue from his flailing hands, fighting over it like dogs. Guards wrangle the struggling man and toss him onto the dirt floor in the arena as the gate is sealed behind him. The winner is a filthy, weak and confused looking human. As he clambers to his feet, a clacking and squeaking sound crescendos from the opposite side of the arena. Cheers start erupting throughout the warehouse as the source of the noise rolls into the arena through the garage door. The bot is a little more than a heavy, shredded ring of barbed spikes. A haphazardly hung LED ticker sits atop its mass, flickering the words Morning Star, confirming your suspicions as to its nature. Robot Wars! Ha! Without pausing, the bot starts closing in on the human, who to his credit has given up rattling the gate and is now facing the more immediate danger. He starts circling left, leading the bot to one side of the pit, then dashes right as fast as he can, bypassing the bot. The move buys him a few seconds as the bot spins in place on its treads, but he ends up in the same situation on the reverse side of the arena. This continues for a few laps, with the human visibly wearing down. Perhaps realising his error, he switches tactics and leads the robot towards a support column and allows it to get close before ducking around behind it. The bot starts turning in place, but the tread gets hooked on the pillar, and for a moment it appears to be stuck. You can sense the tingle of hope in the man as he watches the bot rock to and fro for several seconds. However, the bot's rocking eventually frees it, and it turns to face him again. Crestfallen, the man returns to his original strategy of dodging the robot like a bullfighter, ever more slowly each pass. It doesn't take long for the robot to wear down its already weakened prey, and it scores its first hit, trampling his leg under treads. The man's cry of pain is lost in a wave of cheering from the crowd as the robot backs up. The man hardly has time to limp before it rams him again, this time following through and impaling him against the wall. Drunk with bloodlust, the crowd is now screaming as the robot backs away once more from the stumbling, bleeding man. The bot rams into the wall one more time and backs away, this time with a human stuck on its spikes. The crowd cries out in ecstasy, which eventually simmers down to a rabble as the arena service personnel remove the entrails. Your mouth agape, you suddenly feel a wave of nausea. You begin looking around, panicked. Wow. Robot Wars! That's how it's going to end. They can't afford to have two robots fighting against each other. Where do you think all this meat comes from? Do you think it's just caught off all those two-headed cows out in the field? No, no, no. We're eating man meat. No less. Probably not the best way to word that, but even so, it's true. We are eating man meat. And on that note, I think we shall end the episode, and we shall decide what the bloody hell we're going to do next time around. Are we going to leave, or are we going to see what goes on? Curiosity generally kills the cat, but we're no cat. We're man. Yes, we are man. So I think we might hang around and see what happens after this. But for the time being, thank you for watching. As always, a like is appreciated, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.